Welcome back. In this demonstration, we're going to discuss the 5-inch bowl project for Ceramics 1. So your next project in Ceramics 1 is to create a 5-inch bowl. And by 5 inches, I mean the diameter of the rim from here to here is approximately 5 inches. This one's just a slightly bit larger, but you can imagine it is going to be the size of a cereal bowl. Okay, and the idea here is a couple things that we're looking for when we grade is a nice curved interior. The exterior curve matches the interior. You have a thicker rim that's not a drinking rim, but it's thicker so that when people lay their spoon down on it or maybe even bump it, it doesn't get damaged quite so easily. For the foot, you should have a raised 1/4 inch foot that matches the proportions of the top of the bowl, and that the thickness is not too thick, it's not too thin. The actual foot proportionally is not too small or not too large. Okay, so this being our example, if we look at a cross section, here's our cross section. This one has a thicker rim. You can tell it's been compressed right here, so it's a little bit thicker than the wall. The interior curve of the bowl is followed by the trimming here on the outside, and that foot down here has been trimmed and raised up so that it is part of the feel of the bowl. If I turn it this way so we get the profile, you can see that foot being a part of the profile. Okay, now some other things about bowls. A bowl is for presenting food. Anytime you think of a bowl different than, say, a mug or a cylinder form, we want to be presenting the food. So you should have a curved interior. This one being a serving bowl that one might put out for serving the vegetables at a meal or serving the grain at a meal. It has an open interior, it has pattern and design on the inside. Look at the lip here, the rim, how it's been pushed down and compressed and flared out just a bit to be more inviting and looking on the inside. The foot is a little bit taller than 1/4 inch because this is a larger bowl, so it's a little bit taller. The circular size here kind of proportionally matches the top. If it was very, very teeny, a little teeny one, it would be very tippy and want to fall over. So this one being a serving bowl, it is larger than our cereal bowl. Here's another one. This is about the size of our cereal bowl in diameter, but it's a little bit taller. You can kind of see, if I compare these two, the blue one is much taller. So this one might be for sitting on the table and putting some grapes in, or something that's going to stay on the table and be presented, but not necessarily something that you're eating out of on a daily basis. It might just be something that you're taking from. It's a little bit different. Look at the rim and how thick that rim is. It's definitely been compressed, and this belly area has been tooled so that it's bulging out quite a bit. Okay, moving on to some larger bowls again. Here's another serving bowl. This one has been made together with this cereal bowl, but look at how much bigger it is. This one actually fits inside of here. They were meant to nest all together. So the glaze has been taken into account and they're the same, but look at the foot, nicely raised. Look at the profile of the bowl and how that matches the interior curve of the bowl. This one I wanted to show you because of the changed form. This one being thrown on the wheel and then triangulated here. We've got 1, 2, 3 points where the artist took their finger and made it into more of a triangular shape. But still notice the rim, it's been compressed. It's a nice solid rim. The foot is just a bit larger and thicker, but it's still very nicely trimmed and fits the proportionality of the bowl itself. Okay? If you finish your cereal bowl and have extra time, you're more than welcome to try making a larger serving bowl. 2 more examples I want to talk about that we're not going to make in Ceramics 1 are vertical walled bowls. This one being a vertical walled bowl, it's still curved on the inside, so it is a bowl, but the walls here are more vertical. This again may be for like grapes on the table or bread at the table that you can take out, but is not necessarily going to be eaten out of like a cereal bowl. So it's still a bowl, but we are not going to make vertical walled bowls in ceramics. Look at the foot, still a nice foot, nicely trimmed. This curved area is very elegant and makes it sit on the table and have a nice lift to it. The other one, and the last example, would be a mixing bowl. This bowl is quite a bit larger. It's got a curved interior, but it's like got two interiors, the curved bottom part, but then a very tall wall that is still opened and flared. And this is a bowl for mixing, let's say mixing chocolate chip cookies or mixing mashed potatoes. So it's got to be large to mix a large amount, but it's also a bit heavier, so it's sturdy. So if you're bumping that spoon in there over and over again, it doesn't get damaged. Also, the rim is quite thick, so that again, as you're mixing in it, it doesn't get damaged. The foot is still there, still nicely made, and the curve of the exterior does follow the curve of the interior as well. We are not going to be making mixing bowls because that's quite a large amount of clay to be working with in Ceramics 1, but that is also another assignment later on for learning how to manage making a large bowl. So as you make your bowl in the video, I'll be discussing all sorts of things about working with a bowl rather than a cylindrical form. One of the things is that you're trimming. This wall down here is going to get very weak and want to cave in as you're pulling this open form. So you need to leave enough clay at the bottom to support the wall that is farther out from the center, and then needing to trim that away with an artful eye for keeping the profile matching the interior of your bowl. So I hope this has been a nice introduction to how to make a bowl and things to think about while you're making your bowl in ceramics class, so you can make a bowl that follows all the requirements of a bowl and also looks pleasing and is nice to use.